then back to the question. Do y'all think that the Falcons are going to win the Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins in the next 4 years? If the answer to that question is a no, this grade shouldn't be higher than a C. And that's how I'm coming. That's y'all have agreed, basically, in my opinion, to be a treadmill team for the next 4 years. You know what a treadmill team is? A treadmill team is that there's a team that has good regular season wins and stats, but just can't get it done. They're going to be the Dallas Cowboys for the next 4 years. That's what they're going to be. The biggest thing about the Raiders, is their their front office and owners just being mediocre. Okay, just not being good enough, being dysfunctional. That's the problem with the Raiders, and they need a quarterback. Okay, Derrick Henry to the Ravens got a B minus. Are you? Oh my God! Now I have to turn up on the Fox Sports analyst. And welcome back to Mr. Entertainment, man. And look, we back with the NFL, man. The NFL is non-stop, man. Non-stop, man. Listen. Hold on. Let me scroll down a little bit. As you can see on the screen, we are going to be reacting to every major NFL free agency signing. Okay? Shout out to Fox Sports, Well, I feel like I always say controversial stuff, so I hope y'all ready for this. I'm going to read their grade. I'm going to read their little report. And, of course, I'm going to give my grade and my thoughts. But, man, that's it for the intro, man. Let's get to it. So, hey, Kirk Cousins to the Falcons. Okay? The grade is an A. Let's see what Greg said real quick. The Falcons badly needed an upgrade at quarterback, and they got the best one in this year's free agent class in Kirk Cousins. He addresses the position in the opposite way Atlanta did last summer. If there's a gripe, it's paying $100 million guaranteed over the next 2 years for a 35-year-old coming off an Achilles tear who only made $35 million last year. The drop-off from Cousins to other quarterback options was dramatic, and the Falcons paid to avoid that. It sets them up with every expectation of making the playoffs and head coach Raheem Morris's first year. This is crazy. It wasn't too long ago that I was reacting to the fact that Kirk Cousins this was right before the preseason, Kirk Cousins had moved up 57 spots in the top 100. And now we're looking at the fact that Kirk Cousins right here is now going to play for the Atlanta Falcons. And the grade is an A. Listen, that's so incorrect. I'm sorry. That's so incorrect. Listen. Y'all tell me right now, in the next 4 years, do you think Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons are going to win a Super Bowl? Answer that question. Answer that question for me. How likely do you see? Did they rise in the power rankings for you that much? Huh? You got them as one of the top teams in the NFC? Listen. Listen. Kirk Cousins is 35. Over the next 4 years, $180 million. I'm glad the Vikings let him go. Yeah, let him take that contract. We ain't paying. No. And then back to the question. Do y'all think that the Falcons are going to win the Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins in the next 4 years? If the answer to that question is a no, this grade shouldn't be higher than a C. And that's how I'm coming. Listen, this right here is this is like a C. That's what I'm giving y'all. I'm giving y'all a C. Y'all going to make the playoffs, maybe, hopefully 2 out of 4 of them seasons he there. Besides that, I don't see y'all making some type of deep run in the playoffs and winning the Super Bowl. Okay? Go out there and prove me wrong. Go ahead. Go do that if y'all can. But I'm just being honest, man. Like, that's a horrible signing. Okay? Y'all have agreed, basically, in my opinion, to be a treadmill team for the next 4 years. You know what a treadmill team is? A treadmill team is that there's a team that has good regular season wins and stats, but just can't get it done. They're going to be the Dallas Cowboys for the next 4 years. That's what they're going to be. They're going to be the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to be Josh Allen and the Bills for the next 4 years. And I like the Bills. Honestly, their Super Bowl window is a lot bigger than the Atlanta Falcons. But still, I brought them up because, they kind of been stuck in place. They get left behind. But let's go to the next one. All right, y'all can't see it up there, but the grade is a B. And it's talking about Christian Wilkins to the Raiders. 4-year, $110 million, $84.7 million guaranteed. Let's see what McKenna said real quick. The Raiders must be a little confused about how close they are to contention. they've thrown a bag at a defensive tackle when they are anything but settled at quarterback. Don't get me wrong, it's always good to have a good players, but they were slightly surprising suitor for Wilkins with this 4-year, $110 million deal. He will make Las Vegas's defense better. It's a step in the right direction. It's just that there were so many priorities on the other side of the ball that the Raiders needed to address. It makes me think Vegas has big plans for the offseason. Listen, they lost Josh Jacobs, right? Did Josh Jacobs play for the Raiders? I'm pretty sure he played for the Raiders, right? Listen, he probably gonna be on this list. So when I catch, listen, I like the signing. Maybe that's just me because I'm a defensive person. But the idea of having Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby on the same defensive line, woo, that's scary. The biggest thing about the Raiders, is their their front office and owners just being mediocre. Okay, just not being good enough, being dysfunctional. That's the problem with the Raiders, and they need a quarterback. Okay. Besides that, I don't see too many problems with the Raiders. Okay. I would give it a B too, just because it's like it's a good signing. But does it change how I see the Raiders in the power rankings for the next 2 years? Like, do I think they're gonna do exceptionally good just because of the signing now? No, like I said, they gotta figure out how to stop being what's the word? How I forget like that, man. Dysfunctional. How they gotta figure out how to stop being dysfunctional. They need a quarterback. Okay? They really need those answers. That's just what it is. So they get a B. We got Danielle Hunter to the Texans, and the grade is a B. Okay, he signed a 2-year, $49 million contract. All right, let's see what they said about this. I like this deal for the Texans because they're giving Hunter a fair premium deal for pass rushers of his age and production. But it's short enough to where they're maximizing what's left of his prime years. They'll be able to move on in the 2026 offseason, while Hunter be approaching his age 31 season. On paper, Houston now has a nasty edge rushing tandem with Hunter and the defensive rookie of the year, Will Anderson Jr., and a revamped defensive front. The Texans have lost edge rusher Jonathan Greenyard and linebacker Blake Cashman, but they've added veteran defensive lineman Danico Autry and linebacker Aziz Al-Shaair. I got it. That's all I got. Hey. Okay. In addition to Hunter, who made his first Pro Bowl last season, General Manager Nick Caserio is aggressively building the defense, looking to take advantage of the Texans' contention window, which is now open thanks to quarterback C.J. Stroud. This contract for Hunter was the right one to make. And the grade was a B-. And I gave Christian Wilkins a B. So this guy at least be a B+, A-. This guy, listen, C.J. Stroud is on his rookie contract. He is. Okay? And then you only signed him to a 2-year deal? Listen, this is the time to low-key, bring players in and throw that money around. Okay? C.J. Stroud's Super Bowl window is open right now. This C.J. Stroud is amazing. This guy, listen, this is what I have to say about C.J. Stroud. I just want to see him do it again in the second season. His first season was spectacular, okay? I ain't taking nothing away from him, but I just want to see him do it again, I just want to see him do it again, and like that the top five quarterbacks in the NFL, that list getting shaky. C.J. Stroud do what he did last year, next year, but he showed him improvements again, and he's already as great as he is. Yeah. Woo! Listen, spend that money. Bring them players in, you know what I'm saying? This is a B+ to an A-. This can't be worse than the Christian Wilkins signing. Okay? And the Kirk Cousins signings definitely can't be better than this. The Kirk Cousins signings is better than Danielle Hunter going to the Texans with C.J. Stroud? Oh, come on, man. Come on. And then they got Will Anderson Jr. too. And he's on his rookie contract. They got Tank Dell, Nico Collins. Spend that money. Bring in some vets, some good vets, some Pro Bowlers. Surround C.J. Stroud with what he needs, and y'all can win a Super Bowl. I got to change my grade. This is A+. This is an A+, okay? When you got a quarterback like C.J. Stroud and you making signings like this, you get an A+. You feel me? We got Baker Mayfield to the Buccaneers. The grade is an A. Listen, I don't know who these Fox Sports analysts is or where y'all getting y'all information from, but y'all grades a little off, okay? Y'all grades a little off. Let's see what Greg had to say. The Bucs' priority this offseason was to keep their core intact, which meant bringing back 3 of the league's top 15 free agents. They've done that, putting the franchise tag on Antoine Winfield and getting Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield locked up on multi-year extensions. This is a well-deserved raise for Mayfield after a career year. Think of it as a 2-year, $60 million deal that gives Mayfield 2 seasons to show he's worth keeping a $40 million salary in 2026. To get all three players back before free agency begins without overspending is commendable for the Bucs. 3-year, $100 million, $50 million guaranteed. This grade is an A. Man, listen. The progression of Baker Mayfield has been crazy. Honestly, I would give this a B to a B plus right now because I feel as though Baker Mayfield can, consistently put them in the playoffs over the next 2 to 3 years, okay? Especially in that division. The weakest division in football, okay? Derek Carr's in that division, okay? What are New Orleans going to do? Okay, hold on. Listen, I'm moving all over the place. The weakest division in football. I can see him having the first or second best record in the division consistently over the next 2 to 3 years. His only competition right now, in my opinion, is Kirk Cousins. So I guess I'll give it a B to a B plus. It's not that bad. I think the biggest thing for Baker Mayfield is just going to be going out there and playing. In his early career, I feel like it was a lot of the shenanigans that really got him in trouble. The talking and the showboating and all of that. And when you do that, okay, when you out there acting like that, we want to see you do some incredible stuff and you go far in the playoffs, okay? But that didn't happen. You put that too big of a spotlight on yourself, okay? So the advice I would give you, I don't know if you would want to take it or whatever, but honestly, I think it'll help your game a lot. Do a lot less talking, a lot more playing, okay? Make these people feel it, okay? Get on that field and produce every weekend, okay? You feel me? That's not bad advice either, okay? I'm not hating. I honestly don't think Baker Mayfield is that great of a quarterback, but like I said, can he have them in the playoffs over the next 2 to 3 years in that division? The answer is yes. And if he puts in enough work, where he can go in the playoffs is all up to him. It's him versus him. And that's the truth. Like I said, the shenanigans is what held him back. Who was doing the shenanigans? Baker Mayfield. So it's him versus him. It is what it is. Okay, we got Michael Pittman Jr. to the Colts. They said this was an A. 3 years, $70 million, $46 million guaranteed. This was a no-brainer for the Colts, who had franchise tag Pittman, the veteran wideout in Indianapolis, only proven pass catcher. He has been the Colts' leading receiver for the past 3 seasons, and the team needs as many of those as possible for quarterback Anthony Richardson, who missed most of his rookie season with a shoulder injury. At $23.3 million in average annual value, Pittman's contract slots at 8th highest among wide receivers, according to Spot Track, representing good value for the Colts. A strong deal for both sides. They gave this an A. I gotta give this an A too. You got that young quarterback in Anthony Richardson. You keep his wide receiver, okay? Especially, one who's producing like Michael Pittman is, okay? I know Anthony Richardson got hurt this year, so he missed most of the season, right? But he's been working with Pittman, right? He worked with him in training camps. He worked with him in OTAs. He worked with him in the preseason. He worked with him in the regular season. And then he's one of your top wide receivers. And you get him at the 8th highest paid wide receiver, that's a great deal. That's a great deal, man. This is an A. And that's what it is. It's an A. When you got these young quarterbacks, bro, you don't let this talent escape your team, okay? And you don't be cheap, especially when they're on their rookie contract. That's when you go all in. And a lot of teams have figured that out, and they doing that. So, I'm going to get a Colts. Hey, shout out the Colts, man. Listen, what was his name? Andrew Luck? Man, listen, it was looking a little dark out there, Andrew Luck. Man. It was a little dark, Andrew Luck. But now y'all got Anthony Richardson, and that organization is still trying to get it together. Y'all not as dysfunctional as other organizations. So, man, shout out to y'all. Y'all get that A. All right, man. We got Josh Jacobs on the Packers, right? What did he sign? A 4-year, $48 million deal, okay? The grade is an A. Vitale. The Packers are still a young team. It's why they add the best running back on the free agent market in Josh Jacobs on Monday. It isn't like the Pack to be aggressive in free agency, but with Aaron Jones set to be released, Jordan Love needed someone to lean on in the backfield. The team tried to trade for Jonathan Taylor last season, but that didn't materialize and he reassigned in Indianapolis. The Packers also tried to rework Jones' deal up until Monday afternoon. They'll probably pursue another low-cost running back or add through the draft so Matt LaFleur has a solid running game to incorporate into his versatile offense. The move also allows Green Bay to keep pace in what has become one of the NFL's toughest divisions. NFC North, man. It's tough up here. Ain't nothing easy. You know who in that division. The Minnesota Vikings. Ain't nothing ever gonna be easy. Okay? It ain't ever gonna be easy. The grade is an A. I would try to not be biased because, like I said, I'm from Minnesota. I'm a Vikings fan. My question would be, see, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to debate with myself how much better of a halfback is Josh Jacobs than Aaron Jones. You know what I'm saying? 3.5 yards per carry, 6 rushing touchdowns. Did he get hurt last year? I'm going to have to say, man, it's not a bad signing, but I can't give him an A. I'm going to give y'all a B. I kind of want to say C+, but I'm going to say B because I do think Josh Jacobs is a better halfback than Aaron Jones. But the only reason it's not higher than a B is because I don't know how much this moves the needle for the Packers, okay? I felt like they had a solid running game last year. Aaron Jones is a solid halfback, so now you got another solid halfback, even though he's a little bit better, so you get a B. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't move that needle that much for me, okay? That's them signing Josh Jacobs is not going to be what's going to be the win of the Super Bowl, okay? You can let me know if you agree or disagree with that, but it is what it is. I like Josh Jacobs, but they get a B. Oh, man, this hurt. Patrick Queen to the Steelers, 3-year, $41 million. Why? The Steelers grabbed Queen at a good value. The reported deal is just over $13.6 million in average value. Ravens, y'all ain't had no money, which leads all inside linebackers during this free agent cycle, but slots outside the top 5 in the league overall, according to Spot Track. Oh, so wait. I feel like you're getting paid a little bit then. You're making good money. So Pittsburgh isn't breaking the bank for a player who's a significant upgrade to what it had previously at the position. Queen hasn't missed a game in his career, is coming off his first Pro Bowl season. He'll get to play the Ravens, his former team, twice a year, which surely a win for him as well. Why you got to sign to someone in the division? Go somewhere else. You feel me? Like, man, they get the grade of a B+. B+ because they signed a very good linebacker at a very good deal. But that's telling you how good I think Patrick Queen is to still give a B+ because again, they need to address their quarterback. I want to say they got to address their dysfunction because they've had a lot of dysfunction, man. They like the locker room stuff and the players on the field, and is Mike Tomlin as good as a coach as we think he is, and all of this stuff that's going around, Kenny Pickett, and yeah. So I'm gonna give him a B+ because that's how good Patrick Queen is. That he makes this a B+. But as far as the Steelers, they still got stuff to figure out, especially at quarterback and some of the stuff that they be letting go on in that organization. They like what I be hearing from the sports talks is that if you're very good, they show you favoritism. And when I've been seeing when they get that favoritism, they show out, they act out, and it just reflects bad on the organization. They gotta fix that. Y'all gotta fix that. Okay, grade A-. Leonard Williams to the Seahawks. The The Seahawks keep the best interior defensive lineman with a 3-year deal worth $64.5 million. Acquired for a second-round pick in a mid-season trade with the Giants, Williams finished with 4 sacks and 41 combined tackles, including 9 tackles for loss in 10 games for the Seahawks last season. He now becomes a foundational piece moving forward for the new head coach, Mike McDaniel's revamped defense. Nah, I like Leonard Williams. I do. But I'm going to have to give him a C. Because I can see the Seahawks doing the exact same with them. You know? What they did before, I can see them doing the exact same with them for the next 3 years. Leonard Williams is not what's going to be that comes in there and changes it for the Seahawks. I get what they trying to do on the defense, and y'all know I respect defense. I love defense. But again, like, it don't move the needle. It don't. It's a cool upgrade. You know what I'm saying? It's a cool new piece. It's something new shiny on the team. You know, but it don't move the needle that much. You feel me? So I'm going to give them a C, C+. And also, these lists getting kind of long, so I think I might, shorten it down a little bit. I'm looking at the little, I don't even know what to call it. Listen, I'm looking at that. It looked like we got a lot to go. So some of these, I'm going to go a little bit fast. I'm not going to read what they say. I'm going to read the grade, the contract, and the player. We got Tyron Smith to the Jets, 1 year, $20 million deal. The grade is a B+. Listen, how old is he? How old? 33-year-old? Huh. So, I understand it, and I feel it. If Tyron Smith, it looks good this season, and, he looks like he's good enough to come back next year, I feel like they'll just reassign him. So, I will have to give this an A, because you got to protect Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is slow. He's a pocket passer. You have to protect Aaron Rodgers, okay? You got to. So, with that being said, I'm going to give this an A. Even though he's 34, like I said, he's an 8-time Pro Bowler. Oh, Saquon Barkley to the Eagles. Grade A-. Listen, 3-year, $37.75 million, potentially up to $46.75 million. That's a great contract. Listen, I'm going to have to get this an A. I feel like this is going to take a lot of pressure off of Jalen Hurts. And I feel like last year, Jalen Hurts had a lot of pressure on him to be that playmaker, to be that superstar, to have that X factor if you playing Madden. It was a lot of pressure on Jalen Hurts to do that. They asked him all types of questions in the, in the interviews and stuff about the state of the team and about his leadership and stuff like that. Jalen Hurts is still a very young quarterback. He's going to be going into his 4th year. Get him some help. Take some pressure off his back. The RPOs you're going to be able to run is crazy. Your offensive line and your run game going to be crazy, okay? Jalen Hurts is going to be very comfortable playing in this offense. So this gets an A to an A+. I had to switch it because I thought about it a little bit. I thought about he's going to be very comfortable in this offense. And I'm not sure if they lost A.J. Brown and none of them yet. So I'm not too sure about the rest of the offense, but they still got that defensive line is crazy. The Eagles, man, the Eagles I can't even make words. This is crazy. This is A+. This is an A+, man. We're going to say this is an A+, and watch out for the Eagles, man. I don't expect what happened last year to happen next year, okay? I see them going a little bit further now. I am keeping a buck with you. We got Kendall Fuller to the Dolphins, and it's an A. So, they lost Xavier Howard. And Jalen Ramsey still there. Okay. So the fact that they lost Xavier Howard and they're getting and they're bringing in Kendall Fuller to replace him. I have to give this, dang. I was going to honestly say something like a C+, but that's way too low. I'm going to go B+, because you got to give Jalen Ramsey some help out there. And if you do that changes your defense, okay? Kendall Fuller should be able to play great on that defense, you know what I'm saying? As far as still other things, I give it a B+ because of the defensive player. I feel like Kendall Fuller, putting him with Jalen Ramsey gets you a B+. But if we're talking about the state of the Dolphins, I feel like you can win the Super Bowl with the average quarterback, because that's how I feel about Tua. I feel like he's an average quarterback. And that's the biggest thing. That's going to be the biggest thing for the Dolphins going forward is how do they put Tua Tagovailoa in situations to win the Super Bowl when he's not as good as the other quarterbacks. You feel me? Because let's think about this right now. Tua, right? The Dolphins. Am I wrong? Am I right? They in the AFC, right? The AFC is crazy with the quarterbacks. Now let me ask you a question. Tua Tagovailoa in the playoffs versus Trevor Lawrence. Who do you got? Cool. Keep that. Note that. Tua Tagovailoa versus Josh Allen. Who you got? Keep that. Tua Tagovailoa versus Trevor Lawrence. Who you got? Keep that. Tua Tagovailoa versus Anthony Richardson. Who you got? Keep that. Who you got? Tua Tagovailoa versus C.J. Stroud. Keep that. Who you got? Tua Tagovailoa versus Patrick Mahomes. Tua Tagovailoa versus Lamar Jackson. Tua Tagovailoa is just not that good of a quarterback, and that's what it is. And even if you take Tua over some of them quarterbacks I just mentioned, it still gets scary when you get to talk about top fives because he is not in the top five. But again, because Kendall Fuller, you're putting him with Jalen Ramsey, I'm gonna give you a B plus. Do I feel like this moves the needle a super bunch? Nah, y'all gonna do the same thing y'all did last season and the year before that. But y'all got Kendall Fuller. Hey. Robert Hunt to the Panthers. Grade A-. Listen. I don't know why. It's the Panthers, so I gotta see. I'm gonna give them a C plus. You're building your offensive line, but it's just the Panthers. Y'all are dysfunctional. Yeah. I just gotta see. I'll change that grade later if Robert Hunt comes in and plays great, but just they're the Panthers, and I don't want to hate, but I feel like he come in and just play horrible for some reason. Like it's the Panthers, like they just have bad luck and dysfunction, and I could just see it happening. So they would give them a C. We got Calvin Ridley to the Titans, B plus, 4-year, $92 million. Woo-hoo-hoo, I read it. That's what I was looking for. It's going to be Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins. Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins. B plus. That's correct. This is the first time me and Fox Sports have agreed. This most definitely is a B plus. Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins. You gave Will Levis some weapons. Oh, they lost Derrick Henry, though. We talk about the Titans. They lost Derrick Henry. I give it a B plus. How old is Calvin Ridley? It don't say how old he is. I'm dropping it to a B. Because again, for me, it's about moving that needle. What does this do for your team over the next 2 to 3 years? Do we see the Titans making the playoffs and making playoffs runs because they got Calvin Ridley now? I don't. I see them having maybe a Cinderella season, but overall, I don't see some great improvement. I think they'll do the same thing they did last year. So I have to give them a B. It's not a bad signing, but for me, it's all about moving that needle. And I guess maybe I'm being a little harsh on people, because for me, it's like, what does this do for your Super Bowl window? And we might just have to see more stuff get put together for some of these teams that I've given B's to and stuff like that. But for the most part, this is about what this does for your team now. And this signing, how it affects your team in my eyes, for the next 2 to 3 years. And they're going to have a nice offense. But does it move the needle that much? No. They get a B. Leonard Floyd, 2-year, $20 million to the 49ers. What was the grade for this? They didn't give him no grade. They forgot to do the grade. I'm gonna give this grade. Chase Young is great. I wouldn't say great. I don't know too many numbers on Chase Young right now. I'm just saying he's a really great player to have on your team. I don't know about how he stacks against the greats. I feel like Leonard Floyd might be a little bit bigger, possibly, and stronger, which I think would do great for them. But I have to give him a B because, yeah, he's a replacement, and it just doesn't move the needle too much. Kevin Zeitler to the Lions. Grade A minus, man. I'm gonna agree with that just because you need offensive line and Jared Goff can't run. He's not a mobile quarterback. You're gonna go get a great offensive lineman. Okay. Yep, A minus. We agree, Fox Sports. We agree. Bryce Huff to the Eagles. I'm trying to think about their defensive. Their defensive line just honestly is crazy. I'm gonna agree with that A minus. Just because like they're stacking on that defensive line, and that's like, man, where the 3-year $51.1 million? Where the Eagles getting all this money from? Is there not like a cap room in the NFL? I'm just asking. They building quite the super team. DJ Reader to the Lions. Oh my, with Aiden Hutchinson. The way I feel about this is the Lions are in the same division as the Vikings. I don't want to see them making moves like this, man. Is Jameson Williams going back? What's the halfback name? What's is that? No, Jameson Williams is the what? Jameson Williams, I can't think of all the players' names, but their weapons are still gonna be there. You're gonna add DJ Reader on that defense. Man, they gonna make stuff. They're definitely gonna be plus, and they're gonna make stuff tough for the Vikings, man. Shout out to the Lions. I don't like to see it, but shout out to the Lions. Chase Young goes to the Saints. I'll give it a B. I don't see the Saints winning the division next year or the year after that or the year after that. You're going to ask me why? And it's just like, I don't know what's going on with the Saints, honestly. I feel like this is just this cloud of mediocrity going on down there in New Orleans for the Saints right now. And because of that, that's why I gave that grade. It's a B. I don't see them winning the division. They definitely need to move off of Derek Carr. So yeah, give them that B. Derrick Henry to the Ravens got a B minus? Are you? Oh my God. Now I have to turn up on the Fox Sports analyst. The Ravens was running RPOs with secondary and third option halfbacks. People were getting hurt all at the running position. And Derrick Henry is significantly better than anything they had at halfback. And this is a B minus? This is an A plus grade. That rushing tandem of having Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Oh, this is an A plus. Let's continue going, man. Let's continue going. Michael Onwenya to the Patriots, man. What they grade to give this? They gave this an A. I'm gonna have to give this a this an A. I think they got the second and third pick. You're finna get a young quarterback, most likely. If y'all don't pick a quarterback, man, y'all just, I feel like dedicating yourself to being mediocre. Listen, if your quarterback don't work out, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Next year, pick another one, But I think the best thing is to find what you need at quarterback, man. So you got to take them swings at quarterback. We got Austin Eckler to the Commanders. I'm going to get out a B just because, again, it's the Commanders. Does this move the needle a whole bunch for them? No. Actually, I'm going to get out a C+. I'm giving out a C+. Marquise Hollywood Brown to the Chiefs. I'm giving this an A+ because it's the Kansas City Chiefs, okay? They went and got Marquise Hollywood Brown. Listen, how good do y'all think Marquise Hollywood Brown is, right? And yeah, think about this. Patrick Mahomes just won the Super Bowl with wide receivers we didn't think he could win the Super Bowl with. And I think Marquise Brown immediately coming in is either the first best or the second best wide receiver on that roster. Great signing. It's a 1-year deal. They'll probably, try to develop some young talent because you see the way they try to do contracts. They're not going to sign anyone to a Tyreek Hill type contract at the wide receiver position. They're just not. Well, most likely as long as Travis Kelce's still there because Travis Kelce going to get paid. So, but this gets an A+ because it's the Chiefs. Tony Pollard to the Titans. So they lost Derrick Henry and they got Tony Pollard. And then you got the wide receivers I was talking about earlier. So I'm going to give the Titans an overall grade right now. I'm going to put their overall grade at an A. I'm going to give it an A. New coach, bringing in weapons. Young quarterback, bringing in weapons. This is about the development of the team. They're doing exactly what they need to do. They're doing exactly what they need to do. B minus, offensive tackle, Jonah Williams to the Cardinals. It's a C because it's the Cardinals, and they're dysfunctional. Listen, don't get mad at me, man. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. Cameron Curl to the Rams. I give this a B+, man. I think Matthew Stafford still got something cooking in him. They got Puka Nacua. I think Cooper Kupp still should be there. Aaron Donald did retire, I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong about that, I guess I'm wrong about that. But this right here, yeah. Listen, they had a lot of injuries last year. People can stay healthy. Playoffs. They're making the playoffs. And then the year after that, you want to ask me, can they make the playoffs again? They can make the playoffs again. It's Sean McVay and the Rams, okay? That gets an A. Levante David to the Buccaneers. I'm going to give it a B2. Geno Stone to the Bengals. I'm going to give it a B just because... what's his name? Is it Jamar Chase or is it T. Higgins? Either Jamar Chase or T. Higgins put in a trade request. They just lost the halfback. What's his name? I forget his name, but they lost the halfback, Joe Mixon. So, just for me, I feel like the Bengals, Joe Burrow is a top 5 quarterback. So their Super Bowl window is open. It's going to continue to be open for the next 2 years. But I just don't see this being something that moves the needle a whole bunch for them. It's a good signing, though. So, yeah, I'm going to give it an A2. I'm going to give it an A2 just like them. Josh Uche to the Patriots. We'll give it a B. We know they're trying to do something different, but the way they've been just haven't been great. Frankie Lovey to the Commanders. It's a B, bro. It's the Commanders. What's his contract? 3 year, $36 million. I feel like that's a good contract and everything. You know what? I'm gonna give it a B. If I already said B, then my bad. But I'm gonna give it definitely a B. It's just, you want to see a certain amount of consistent growth from a team and organization. And I feel like the Commanders have yet to show that. So it's hard to take any signing they do outside of a marquee player. I don't think Frankie Louvu is a top marquee player at linebacker. He's a very good linebacker. So I'm going to give him that B. B+, Trent Brown to the Bengals. Yeah, most definitely B+. Joe Burrow was hurt all last year. All last year, Joe Burrow was hurt. You get him an offensive line. You get a top 5 quarterback like Joe Burrow on offensive line. Top 3 quarterback Joe Burrow on offensive line. That's what you do. Xavier McKinney to the Packers. I'm going to give it a B2. A B2. That's a nice contract, too. Nice contract. I really like that. I do. Jonathan Greenyard to the Vikings. We did lose Danielle Hunter. Let me see. How old is he? I don't know how old he is, but I like that. He should be big. I don't think he's as much as a speed rusher as Danielle Hunter, but he is a power rusher, so shout that out. I'll give it a I'm trying so hard not to be biased because it's the Vikings. We lost Danielle Hunter though. I'm gonna give it a B. Give it a B. Russell Wilson to the Steelers is a A. What? When team gets a starting quarterback for the veteran minimum, that team is generally a winner in the deal. With the Broncos still on the hook to pay Wilson, Pittsburgh can get away with a tiny contract for a guy they expect to be their starting QB. Now, if Russ can be that guy again, the Steelers might be Super Bowl contenders. That's a big if. Am I not the only one who feels like that could be a big if? I don't know why my game just exited it. My game even knew that was something crazy. That's crazy. An A? I'm giving Russell Wilson to them a C until proven different. So we made it back to Russell Wilson, man. Yeah, that's most definitely a C. That's just what it is. We got B. Well, Eric Armstead got a B when he signed to the Jaguars. That's what they say. I'm gonna give it a B too, just because I just don't. Trevor Lawrence got hurt last year. How old is he? How old is Eric Armstead? I'm gonna give it a B, B plus. B, B plus. DeAndre Swift to the Bears. And who else did they traded for a wide receiver? I can't remember the name. But listen, they most definitely gonna get a B plus just because you know they're supposed to draft Caleb Williams and they're bringing in talent. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. You're finna get a quarterback who's supposed to be a young phenom. Yep, B plus. So hey man, we done made it to the end of the list, man. Let me know how y'all feel about my grades and stuff like that, man. I feel like I was very accurate. I ain't get biased. What it was for me was about moving the needle, or how much it helps the growth as your team, or how it shows growth for your organization if you're making good signings and stuff like that. All of that is incorporated. All of that is incorporated into my grades. And let me see. We got the teams on here, so I'm just gonna say, as follow going out note, Atlanta Falcons paid way too much for Kirk Cousins. But thank you for taking him away from Minnesota, because we shouldn't have been paying him that much. We shouldn't have paid him that much. Good luck to the Atlanta Falcons, and good luck on y'all treadmill, because yeah. Next, Russell Wilson to the Steelers. We'll see how that go, man. Russell Wilson, this is like your third or fourth chance to like revitalize your career, because we gave up on you in like Seattle kind of, and then we really gave up on you in Denver the first year, and then y'all signed Sean Payton to be the head coach, so we was like, maybe. And then we gave up on you, and then you started looking nice, and we gave up on you again, and yeah. So this like your third, fourth, fifth time trying to, So yeah, I hope y'all really enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. My whole screen is starting to glitch and stuff. I don't know what's going on. Maybe my game overheating or something. But like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. We out.